Yeah. Come on. Welcome.
Good evening. Merry Christmas. Right? It's Christmas time, 12:40-ish on Christmas morning. Merry Christmas. Happy birthday, Jesus, on the 25th of December. And Mr. Sean Higgs on the X YouTube channels. Give it a follow, a like here. Why not? If you're tuning in, if you're wrapping gifts, you're getting home late, family night, whatever you're doing, welcome on in. iHeartRadio for After the Fact show. And I'm going to be honest with you, it was tough kind of digging up some lines tonight here. I had a few lines posted. Some of them are I had to jump around for some lines here to fill out the board here. Not a lot of totals. Some of these are from DK, some off of FanDuel, some off of Vegas Insider. I had to run around covers as well, looking for some spreads tonight. Because with the final week of the year, it's difficult, right? Who's out? Who's in? I've yet to make a play in Week 18, final week of the season. But we could talk about it. I made the room, not realizing there was no lines posted yet. But it is what it is. Love look at lines. Thank you. I do too. Oh, check it in. What do you say there, Brad? Mr. Sandu's in the house. Smashing leg button. T-Money. Oh, Winner Circle checking in. Did a triple play on the Winner Circle YouTube. Go check it out for NFL Christmas. 3 plays up, me and Brian Bittler doing that. So if you want to get some opinion on just the Christmas games, you got you covered at Winner Circle. Give them a follow. I'm over there 5 days a week doing shows. Obviously, you know Friday Football Live. I mention after my show every Friday. Heading over Football Live. Check out the Winner Circle YouTube and gamblersworld.net. T-Money's like LeBron over 20.5 points tomorrow. I'll go 23 for some plus money. The floppy. This is how you come into the chat, T-Money? With this guy? I do have some things here for tomorrow. How about that? Christmas NBA. I'll tweet these out as well. I'll go to the Twitter land and put these puppies out here we're on to it. Oh, I know why. Because this stupid, you make a banner and it goes to a timer on StreamYard. I'm not sure the nonsense they're doing here. Here you go. NBA Christmas. I'll throw this out here right here on the X as well. Knicks -5.5. Rockets -2.5. OKC -9.5. Mavericks in Denver. Sort of like those games. But the actually my favorites to be the other 3. We're going Cowboys under 50.5. Lions over 42.5. Denver under 36.5. There you go. A Christmas 6-pack. Trifectas in NBA and NFL. I can't, I could give you my NFL, but what am I going to tell you? Like, hey, take Dallas -3. Like I got Dallas -3. That line is gone. Dallas is not laying 3 anymore. They are laying 10 offshore here. So that line is gone. I can't tell you to take Detroit -3. That line is 7.5. And I can't tell you to take the Denver Broncos -5.5. That line is 13.5. So there is that for my what I have up on Gambler's World and Sports Capping. And there you go. So there is that. There is that. T-Money. Let me ask you something important. I need you to read between the lines with this question. Man. All right. Read between the lines. You like OKC to win and cover against the Spurs tomorrow. I'm sure you know what I like, so I'm curious, but it is OKC. I think the fact that the old going for the record is out the window is kind of good for them. But I think I know you're a Spurs money line kind of guy. I mean, let's be honest. We know T-Money is what money he likes to move on here. But I look at this OKC as they're playing a peer, right? People are high on Wemby. Oh, it's Wemby. I don't know. I think they show up and take care of business. So, you do, my man, may throw 100 on Spurs money line. Yeah, I mean, hey, let's take the Spurs money line versus the best team in the NBA. Yeah, that's it's a ballsy pick. But again, the Spurs got the second. What are they? Second best record of Spurs? Are they 22? Third best record in the NBA. But this is a spot where you think the Thunder win, right? They're off a loss. I like OKC can't match up with the Spurs. That's what we're going with, huh? Since they lost to the Spurs before. I mean, I get it. You lose 130 to 110. It's a back-to-back spot for them. Yeah. I mean, I get it. You come in, huge fourth quarter. What am I going to say? Don't do it? What are you getting? 3-1? 280? Yeah, I know. 2 losses to the Spurs. I understand. Is it worth a shot for you for 3-1, 280? Holmgren over points. Old Shetty. He had what? 7 points the first game. Or last game, I should say. 3 of 10 from the field. Do you think he improves? I don't know. Again, give me OKC. Plus 270. All right. Yeah, but you can't be shocked. OKC's – I mean, they had OKC lose a game the rest of 2025. Are they going to win 75 games this year, 74 games this year? They're a good team. Bills in the house. Have futures bet on Knicks to win the East. That's you know what? I don't hate that there. I mean, who's the competition out here? Celtics are in flux since last year's injury. Bucks with Giannis always got a question mark. I mean, is Cleveland the team to beat? I know Detroit's having a nice season. I think you're looking good, Bill. Don't tell Mr. Numbers I said that, though. He'll lose his mind. I said to say something positive about the Knicks. All right. It is look at lines for NFL Week 18. So let's just take a look at some of these things here coming up. Again, these lines will fluctuate and be all over the place. That's just what it is. Weekend. What am I looking for here? Try to think how teams do here. Again, it is I don't have the rundown of the tiebreaker scenarios and all that kind of nonsense. Um, yeah, no, I think you're good with the Knicks here. I think you're good. So again, I don't have the tiebreaker scenarios here. I can guess. I'm not gonna just like type in look for, well, this happened, this happened, this happened. I can go off of what I think this week's games go and what next week has in store. So right off the bat here, I would like the Packers. I think Malik Willis is a decent backup. He's come in before here for Green Bay. He's not a flinging around the field kind of turnover guy. He'll take off before he does something stupid with the ball. Now they are 9-5-1. They got that tie could be huge here with the Lions. Can be huge. Right? I mean, they win this week. They're 10-5. The Lions win this week. They're 9-7. Lock it up. Lock it up. You can't catch them. Now, they lose here. That's loss number 6. Vikings win. Or it's loss number 7. And now you're sitting at 9-7-1, and Detroit's 10-7. You have probably T-Money's favorite player, Lamar, sitting out this week, looks like here, versus the Packers. But it's that in current Lamar state of health, I don't think it's a crazy drop off to Tyler Huntley, who's won games and started. Right? Is it a drop off? Yes, but maybe the team rallies, right? Because again, here's the Ravens sitting in 9th place. They win. They're 8-8. The Colts got Rivers. Listen, I don't think the Colts win out. I think the Colts are 8-9 and are down. Baltimore wins the next 2 weeks. They win against Green Bay this week, and next week they'll have the Steelers winner type all kind of game there. We'll talk about that game in a second, because that line, again, this is an early line. I don't think you'll even find this Steeler line when we get to it. So this game here, I do like the Packers either way. Either way, even if it's no matter the scenario, you get Green Bay -1.5 versus Minnesota. I can get behind that. But I had Hawaii tonight. Got my Christmas miracle come back. Yeah, I Cal. And after a 6-2 start with bowl games, I've dropped 4 in a row now. So 6-6 with my bowl games now. T-Way says, someone telling me that either the Redskins or Vikings win tomorrow. How do you? We'll talk about these games in a minute. Let's go through the comments. We'll jump back into the next week's thing. But let's just stay here right for a second. Washington, 10 points. 9.5. There's an 8.5 of FanDuel, 9.5 DraftKings, 10 in the far and away places. Listen, I'm worried at Dallas at 3 with Milton coming in at like halftime. But you want to back Johnson here on? I don't know. The Vikings. I'll tell you what, T-Money. Dude, the Vikings win tomorrow. I'm all for firing Dan Campbell. What an utter collapse. And they won't fire him. But what a terrible year. Love is questionable in this game. He could be back again. I know he was in the protocol. It is saying that he is questionable, so there is that. Again, I don't think it would be terrible if he sat with Willis. Again, especially with Baltimore, you have Lamar Jackson was questionable. He didn't do walkthroughs today, so no practice on Wednesday. I'm assuming Lamar is out, which is why it's kind of 3.5 for this game. Too many thinks the Packers are done. I mean, how do you say the Packers are done? It was terrible loss to the Bears. You're a Bills guy. You like Josh Allen. They lost to the Dolphins. They lost to the Falcons. You lose a crazy game on the road after you lose your quarterback. I'll forgive them there. And again, Lamar. I know you don't think the guy's hurt, but again, he left the game again and didn't play. He's questionable. So I don't know how you don't think the guy's been healthy this year. Andrew's asked, Merry Christmas, Sean. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome, Andrew. Silver, $72. But what was it? 2 weeks ago, it was $48, right? It's $48 we talked about it. I don't see in the Tony's picks anymore. I don't do Tony's show anymore. I got off the site. Told myself I'm not going to post anymore in the mornings. I won't go on the show in the morning. I'm going to post on the site anymore. So I haven't been over there in a while, Andrew. Well, he says, Minnesota pulling an upset here. There's going to be some Minnesota love. I understand, but quarterback-wise, I'm not really loving Rosner there. Colts are not winning for sure. I agree, Caleb. Baltimore has been a bet against team for me the last month. I mean, you got no quarterback. You lose a quarterback, you got problems. 4-1 in bowl games. I lost my Oklahoma bet versus Bama. I had Bama in that game. I started out really good. Washington, Old Dominion, Alabama, Ole Miss, Jackson State, under. I mean, I was doing well. And then I took some bad ones. I took the Oregon loss was bad. Louisville, tough loss there. Even this Cal one. I mean, I had 3 that maybe I should have won. 2-1 in that, and I got 8 wins instead of 6. Changes the game, but it is what it is. That's baseball, Susan. Over, maybe Dallas team total over. I could probably do a Dallas team total over because I think Dak will want to put up some numbers here. Again, next week versus the Giants, there'll be no Dak Prescott. This week here, you're going to get a half from him. Can he score and put a couple touchdowns up? That's what you got to look at in this game. I mean, 10-point favorites for Dallas. Totally out of it. 0 to play for, right? So what are you doing? What? I get Dak says, you know what, I want to play. Well, you're 2 touchdowns away from 30. I think 30 touchdowns is a nice goal for you there. Pickens needs 1 TD for 10. Jake Ferguson 3 TDs away from 10. These are things that maybe he's going to throw to these guys. Let's see, CDs over 1,000 yards, 1,300 yards for Pickens. Maybe Pickens wants a big game. Maybe he wants 1,500 yards. He needs 150 yards for maybe he has a monster game here. They go to Pickens a lot. I don't know. That's Dak to get to 30 touchdowns. I could see that. That is I think that's something that he's probably want to play for and want to try to accomplish. He's done it 3 other times at 30. He got hurt. So COVID, 37, 23, 36, 11 last year. He's got 28. Why not throw 2, get to 30, and get out of the ball game, right? Anyway, says, some people saying Detroit needs a new coach, and not you, but I like him. Maybe I'm biased, but I just think the Lions need to get healthy and maybe find a new quarterback long term. Find a new quarterback, huh? So we're trying to get rid of Jared Goff. Quarterback's bad. 3rd most passing yards in the league. What's he? 6th best percentage, 68.6 yards. 2nd most touchdowns in the league, 32, but it's time for a new quarterback, huh? That's interesting, to say the least. You think he's the problem? Billy says, Green Bay are nothing for me at Saturday's game versus Baltimore. Yeah, I'm not going to listen. Both teams desperate. Can Baltimore maybe – are they in a pack-it-up kind of mood, and that's a team looking for a new coach? Possibly. Who knows? Let's move on here. Colts and the Texans. So I was showing a Colts plus 4.5 in this one. Again, these lines from all over the place. So take them with a grain of salt. And I'll show you just in another instance here going down. I mean, Panthers are plus 7 at DraftKings, 3.5 at FanDuel. So again, we're not coming out with picks here. I had to go to a couple sites, find these. They are what they are. They are what they are here. Either way, I like the Texans. I have the Texans to win the division at a 9-1. I also have the Jags at a plus 420 here, which look like that's probably going to cash. Sorry, Colts fans. And our guy King D has not been around. I don't know where King D went to. Hopefully he's all right. Probably got sad after Daniel Jones got hurt. Maybe he's just partying for the Hoosiers. Who knows? But yeah. Everybody was pumped up. Phillip Rivers. All right. I mean, you were in a game versus Seattle, had the Rams on deck. I'm sure they weren't taking a guy who's just playing with his grandkids on Monday real serious. Saw what happened on Monday Night Football versus the Niners. I think we'll probably see more of the same this week versus Jacksonville. Give me the Texans. Again, they lose here. I think they're pretty much out of it. Right? Where would they be with a loss here? The Colts are in 8th place right now. A loss here puts them at 8-8, and who knows? Maybe they're still alive here because you got Baltimore behind them. So Baltimore loses, they're still in it. Unbelievably. But it is what it is. I don't see them winning. I don't see them winning. Miami and the Pats, again, 2.5 spot here. Patriots are still playing meaningful games. If you got a 2.5 on this puppy, even if the Patriots, if it's like a meaningless game, I will still do a Patriot over Miami in this game. If it goes up, I don't care. I'll still take the Patriots here. I would take the Patriots if Dobbs was quarterbacking. Tommy DeVito, by the way, on the Patriots, third-string quarterback, in case anybody's interested. Where are we here? Green Bay, nothing. We did that for Bill. Real Madrid, Doge, 49ers and Broncos in the finals. 49ers, Broncos, Super Bowl, huh? I'll be shocked if the Broncos get there. I'm not a Bronco guy. No. I'm not. I think they're a flawed bunch, and they're going to get picked off by somebody. They play down to teams. I mean, forget about playing down to the Jets and the Titans and to the Texans with a backup quarterback. Dude, you just got rolled by Jaguars. I'm not buying them. Niners win the next 2 games. They have home fields. Am I going to sleep on the can they get picked off? I'm not a Shanahan guy, Real Madrid. I saw this dude blow 28-3, lead to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Again, he was a coordinator calling those plays. The Cap blew a 10-point lead against Kansas City in the Super Bowl in the fourth quarter. He's blown 10-point leads in the fourth quarter against the Rams in championship games. So I could see him losing to Seattle or the Rams again in a championship game. So, but I like that a lot more than the Broncos. Too many things. Love Lamar, won't play. Eagles, Lions, San Fran, Bills, Jaguars, Denver. That's it. Or else we kind of move on next. I can't put Denver in there. I put the Patriots in there before I put the Broncos in there. I'm not putting the Eagles in there. No way. I can't put the Eagles in there. Am I the only person who thinks Lamar came back? He just doesn't look for it at all. No, Billy, I've been saying that. For 2 months. I said that. I'm glad you noticed because T Money didn't even know he missed a game. He thought he was still playing every single week. Dallas first half, yes. I'm not saying Goff is trash, but he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Maybe Mahomes finds some new scenery in Detroit would be a great fit. Trey roster to me is top 5. They have yeah, but he's part of the reason they're a top 5 offense and roster. And Mahomes, who I get the kid's 30, coming off ACL. Maybe he'll be a little better. He's not going to be the same. Andy Reid should retire. Kelsey should retire. Next year, Kansas City is going to stink. He's not coming back anytime soon. Who's the quarterback there? Who are they signing? Winston? Malik Willis? They're going to roll with Gardner Minshew? Mac Jones? Trey Lance? Who's coming in the quarterback this team till Mahomes come back? Their nurses back from an ACL. I'm not saying these Cousins at 37 come back from an ACL, but he's still a guy who used to run a little bit. My Colts may get smoked. Texas defense is real. Yeah, they are good. Texans got a defense. Jags and Texans look good. They do. I'm not saying the Jags and Texans don't look good. Like the Texans this week and next. Yeah, against the Chargers, man. The Charger team's wacky to me with that offensive line. I was not expecting them to drop 30 on the Cowboys. I thought that'd be a reversal, especially off a big win over Kansas City. I thought they'd be like a little flat because they're the Texans this week, Gary. Like, all right, I get it. You beat Dallas. I thought Dallas last home game, you're going to show up and put some points on the board. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Wayne see actually is playing the Texans game versus the Colts, so I like Texans. Yeah, Texans could very well be playing for a playoff spot, though. So I'm not, Pat's definitely, I want to lay this week with the Jets. The Jets are catching a number this week here, right? What's the Jets number? 13.5 home doggy. Dan's Rants want something tonight. Come in and rant. I would not. How about tomorrow, Dan? Because I actually kind of want to do a shorter show tonight. I want to get some sleep. I figured tomorrow I could sleep in a little bit. I got older kids. I think I can at least sleep till 10 o'clock tomorrow. Baltimore Green Bay pass. Yeah, it's a tough one. Captain Kirk, anytime touchdown for the Texans. Dude, has Kirk scored a touchdown at all this year? He's been a no-show the entire season. Let's go to the stats. Where is Kirk? One touchdown pass. 14 targets last 5 games. No. Last week, 5 catches, 37 yards. Week before versus Arizona, no targets. 3 targets versus Kansas City. No targets versus the Colts. His last touchdown versus the Bills. November 20th. It'll pay good if it hits. Poor man's Jaguars. That's a poor Jaguar team. The Jaguars ran them out of the building. Yeah, I think the Jags are tough. Yeah, Niners can still get the ones. I took it Niners to get the 1 seed plus like 950. Yeah, I forgot the Pats. Well, all right. He's been hurt. You're the one who didn't know the guy was hurt this year. Buffalo, sure. Billy, if Buffalo doesn't get to the Super Bowl this year, we could talk about the Patriots and it's Drake May, it's Bo Nix. Bro, Josh Allen is the best quarterback standing in the AFC. Granted, he's a one-man show. But he's better than anybody's going to be facing, even on the road. There is no excuse. Oh, well, we lost because we didn't have home field. Well, that's your own fault. You're going to blame it on home field. You're the one who lost to Atlanta. You're the one who lost at Miami. I don't want to hear any excuses for Buffalo. Buffalo should be a Super Bowl appearance. I don't know about winning against the Rams, Seattle, Niners, Eagles, whoever, Bears. You should get there. They were the favorites at the beginning of the year. Okay, lost a couple games. That happens. And they expect you to go undefeated, even though the bookmakers had you listed as favorites in all 18 games. Dude, if they don't get Super Bowl, fire the coach. Fire the coach. Buffalo was my favorite team before the season started in the Super Bowl, 350, now 850. Yeah. Merry Christmas also to you. Rodgers to Kansas City next year. Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me? Well, terrible. Dylan's in the house. How you been, Dylan? Good to see you. Merry Christmas to you also. Yes. But there's no excuse for Buffalo not to get to the Super Bowl. If we've seen anything in the NFL this year and past years, you need a quarterback. And you have the best quarterback standing in the AFC. It's not close. I don't care about the guys having all these guys. Drake May's having a good year. Forget it. No. You're still the best. You're still the best. Hey, Drake May, great season. You're the best quarterback in the AFC. All right, let's get moving through some of these, see what we can talk about here. Again, we talked about the Patriots, Chiefs, Raiders. Again, obviously, Chiefs are not going to be laying 6 to the Raiders next week. This was a line from probably the week before, summer kind of lines here. We're not going to see a 6 on this. The Raiders, full tank. Full tank, we need a draft pick. You put Brock Bowers goes to the injured list against the Giants here, making it hard on Pete Carroll to screw the franchise that's going to fire him. Again, the 6, I probably should have just left this blank. People were like, where did they find the 6 at? Well, you go to the, I had to hunt around different sites, as I mentioned, where I was out looking for lines. This is a bad line. You're not going to find a Raiders +6. At least I don't. I'll tell you what, +6, I'll take them +6. Kansas City should be laying 6 to anybody. Lions and Bears. This one will matter. And I think this line will move a little bit too, because I'll be on the Bears this week. To be honest with you, if this line was posted, if I could get it now with the Bears plus points, I would take the Bears plus points. I would, and it's not because it's like, oh well, they got to win this game, and they got no. I don't think Detroit's. I think Detroit's got problems. Give me the Bears. Give me the Bears here. I'll take the Bears. And I'll tell you what, even if this game means nothing and the line moves, whatever it moves after this weekend's games, I'm gonna get Tyler Baguette probably a little bit. Maybe they'll let Caleb rest a little bit. Who knows? Again, I'm just throwing crap out there on Christmas. I don't know what's gonna happen. Half these lines are wacky right now. I like the Bears though. We mentioned this one here. Panthers, again, 7 at DK, 3.5 at FanDuel. Which one do you believe here? I think Panthers plus 3.5 is a little more better. More realistic. I think FanDuel's on the ball here, thinking how this is going to play out for the final game of the season. Or maybe they're thinking, DK's thinking, yeah, it's going to play out that Tampa Bay loses to Miami, and this game doesn't matter because the Panthers are going to beat Seattle. And they'll rest everybody next week and get +7. This is the game you play. Week 18, though, this is like the final week of preseason. Jets and the Bills, again. Bills a lot to play for. The Jets mailing in. Do you want to lay double digits with the Bills? With a wild card game on deck? Where are the Bills going to be playing next week? Or not next week, but yes, it would be next week after this game. Where's the bracket? Where's the bracket right now? Let's see. The Bills, the 6th seed, will be where? At Jaguars? Right? Would that be the playoff breakdown? I think they are. I think CBS has it. Hold on a second. Bills at Jaguars, yes. Bills at Jaguars, Texans at Patriots. And I'll tell you what. You're going to give me some points with the Texans in New England? I'll look into that game. Ravens will not be laying 4.5 to the Steelers. Not happening. Not happening. Let's see. We got a bunch of comments in here. Dan likes Raiders. Raiders for when? Again, are you talking about this week Raiders over Giants or Raiders over Kansas City week 17? Because I can see the Raiders totally winning to screw up the number 1 pick and being a 3-win team like 5 other teams. Loaded up on the Raiders, what, +3? Raiders +3? That's what they were to start. Raiders, Casey, our guy Carroll, will need to be sent home. He's getting fired at the end of the year. He's getting fired. He's not coming back. But he likes the Raiders. 2 TDs for Genty. For when? For what? For what week here? For this week? This week against the Giants or next week versus Kansas City? KC versus – I'm telling you, dude, I think they're going to – not only I think they win this week, I think Carroll, again, Geno Smith, you got a veteran guy in there. I could see them just coming in and winning the last 2 games and winning 4. Now, for the NFL as a rigged crew, let's be honest. Giants should win. They have Jackson Dart. They have a franchise quarterback. The rigged crew should be taking the Giants because the Raiders need a first-round pick to get a quarterback, right? That would be the rigged thinking here. But honestly, I think Cal's going to be like, screw these guys. They're going to fire me. We're winning this game. And that's what we did. We put Bowers on the injured list the last 2 weeks of the year. Really? Interesting. Lions, Bears over. Final week of the season. Again, we got to see how that plays out, Dan. I mean, I like the Bears. But if the Lions don't do nothing, it'll be again, if the Lions are out of it, I think it's a Bears blowout. But is it going to be 45-0 to go over the total? Or is it going to be 24-6? 20-point win. You know what I'm saying? 27-7 or some crap. Bears keep finding ways to win. This is the thing, Bill. This is how you go from a decent team, like, all right, they're going to win, 8-9 games, be pretty good. And then now you win 11, 12, 13 games. You start catching breaks in one-score games. You pull out a miracle like you did against Green Bay. Remember last year, they're losing Hail Mary passes to Washington, all types of crazy crap. You start flipping those, or you even out on them, you're going to go good. Last year, the Vikings were 14-4. The Chiefs last year, I think they were 5-0 or 6-1 or something in one-score games. They're like 1-5 this year. You get the lucky breaks, a little momentum. You're like, hey, we're pretty good. Things are going right. You kind of grow. It's like a snowball. Bears money line, Lions lose on repeat. I'm with you on the Bears next week. Billy likes the Bucks. No, the Bucks are done. They keep pricing these guys like it's freaking September 22nd and they're healthy. Who loses today to ruin a 3-team favorite money line parlay? Cowboys go down? I don't know. I think that if the teams go down, I think maybe it's like Detroit, I think. But I don't think it's Detroit. I don't think the Cowboys are going down with Josh Johnson again, so that'd be terrible. I mentioned earlier, John, I was like, Dak's like 2 touchdowns away from 30. I think they start out fast. He throws a couple touchdown passes. They get up, 24-6 or something in the first half. They scored their points. They take them out. I mean, if they have some kind of collapse like that, possibly. I don't know. Could be in Pittsburgh. Which game are we talking about there? Raiders, KC. Again, I think the Raiders win the next 2 games. I think Pete Carroll doesn't give a rat's ass. Like the Giants this week versus the Raiders. They should win. Dart's playing, they should win the game. When in Nashville, Lions coach will be fired after this game. Book it. I think he should be fired. They're not going to fire him, though. They were so close last year. This year they'll chalk it up to some nonsense. Bears Lions have flip-flop last year to this year. Yes, they have. Lions offense at home broken. Bad Steelers team. Listen, don't get me started on that game. I was heavy on Detroit there. I didn't think Steelers would be able to match them. I don't think in the second half, Gibbs or Monty ran the ball. Terrible. Bills, Pittsburgh, first round of the playoffs. I'm seeing Bills, Jaguars right now. Bills are the 6th seed. Yeah, I mean, really, you're going to lose to this kid, this quarterback, Brosner's look terrible. And that's what I'm thinking. If they're going to fire the guy, if he's going to lose this game and then lose to the Bears in Week 17, that's just terrible. Terrible look losing to those teams. Just losing to this kid would be bad enough. And then letting the Bears run it up on you last game of the year, your team's not showing any heart. Yeah, not good. Steelers, not Dennis. They're not going anywhere. Yeah, Lions, terrible last week. Terrible. A good reason why the Ravens always either suck or can't use a good player is they have at key moments. I think it's time to move on from Harbaugh. You know, you've been there for a while. Sometimes it just the act wears old. And at this point, you know what? You had a bunch of injuries. Maybe you just. I mean, do you run? You show again. It's tough because Lamar's hurt. How many games he missed this year? The guy's been banged up for 12 or 16 weeks, right? I mean, he missed 4 weeks. The defense was bad. It'll be tough to fire him because you'll be like, well, Lamar was hurt. You know, you get a hurt quarterback in the NFL, you're in trouble. We've seen it. We can do a whole quarterback show. I think he comes back just based on that. But I would not be shocked if he was fired, though, because the defense is just a hot mess. Where were we? Jets, Ravens, Browns, Bengals. Look at this. Was this a beginning of the year line that they just left up? I don't want anything to do with it. But I could see this also because if you got Burrow coming in here and throwing for 5 touchdown passes and he feels good because he beat Miami, he's all happy guy now. But again, is he going to play the last week of the season? The guy's hurt all the time. Why are they going to roll him out in a meaningless game versus a rival? Garrett comes in here and breaks his leg because he wants 6 sacks. This is a Cleveland spot. And here's one. Do I want to bet Joe Milton on the road as a favorite? Who the hell? I mean, the Giants could very well be playing for a number 1 draft pick again. Washington Eagles. I'll tell you what. I like watching this. They were chippy. They were pissed off. I think they want to. They showed some fight. They weren't in the game, but they were. You know, I don't know. If I'm the Eagles, I'm not playing dudes against Washington. Washington come in here like sucker punch you and cheap shots you. I don't want my guys playing against Washington. You mean when these lines come out, I will be taking Washington plus whatever points I get here. Saints and Falcons, again, this number, an early number. They haven't readjusted. Again, I looked on multiple sites, covers, Vegas Insiders, Odds Logic, a bunch of sites looking for lines. They're all over the place. I don't think Saints are going to be 5.5. This could very well be flipped the other way. Arizona Rams, the Rams could be favored here. Will it be 4.5 or will it be more? I don't know. Again, the Rams currently the 6th seed. Things can go on with they win, San Fran loses. It's flipping. The Rams will be in a spot, though, where it could be affecting whether they're going to play the Eagles or the Panthers. And here we go. This game here. Seattle 4.5, FanDuel 1.5. Again, Seattle probably 4.5 to start the year. FanDuel more of a realistic line at 1.5 right now, which I think is the correct number if I'm putting this game up here. That's where I would be looking at that game. I wouldn't look at the DraftKings number. Although if you got DraftKings and you could find a 4.5, I'd take a stab at the 4.5. Why wouldn't you? I'd do a nice little middle here. I think you'll be all right. Take 4.5. Take the Niners on the money line. go for it if you get that down on DK. And again, this is a spot because the Niners can still win the division. How about that if that happens? And your Titans-Jaguars game, again, this will probably be double digits depending on how this plays out here with the Jags. And the one that means something, it's your Sunday night game. Every other game is going to be not Sunday night, it'll be at 4 o'clock. Every other game is going at the same time this week, right? Every game goes the same time. There's no scoreboard watching, crap like that. This one means something. Like the SEC, it just means more. This one means more because it could be a division title on the line. It's a good matchup. Should be all right. So that's the rundown, although it is kind of wonky. It's a wonky rundown. What happened with Derrick Henry? Good question. I mean, he's productive. He could come back another year. You're going to Browns-Bengal game next week. Should be fun. Make sure you bring that heavy coat. Be a little chilly. Giants money line or Browns money line? Yeah, I mean, again with the Giants, and I really want to get involved with a team that could be in the running for a number one draft pick, stuff like that. I don't know. Browns for sure. Browns, yes. My favorite team as a kid, there we go. You see the cowboy helmet. That's a Randy White signed mini helmet. I love the boys. Parcells became the head coach. I was cheering on the Jets. So Chad Pennington beat the Colts in the playoffs in the Meadowlands 41-0. I was not cheering for the Cowboys with Bill Parcells as the coach. That sure as hell wasn't happening. That dude's a giant coach. But honestly, I'm not really a fan of anything. Any teams, really. It's just when you get older, it's kind of like, you know what? I don't know. I don't have the love anymore of it. Saints have done everything to make sure they don't get top 2 pick. Well, the Saints shouldn't. The Saints have their quarterback. I mean, why would they get a top 2 pick? They've been winning and being competitive for the last 2 months. Niners D1 stop Seattle in regular season. Give me Seattle money line. Load up on the Niners. I think they could stop them. I know they have problems defensively. Listen, it'll be a good game. It'll mean a little something. Again, until this week is played, that's why we have no lines, really. We have, in all honesty, when we go to the lines that I posted and what's out here, we really have 3 lines. We have Tampa Bay 3.5. Tampa Bay 3.5 over Carolina, San Fran 1.5 over Seattle, and Denver 2.5 over the Chargers. Those are the 3 really look-at lines we have. The other ones are more from future lines. If DraftKings still has them up, go for it. Take a stab and beat them at their crap number. But there you go. That's it. That's your show. That's your Christmas show. Ho, ho, ho. Who would know? You know what? I didn't even put the Christmas picks in the chat here for Christmas. I'll get them up here one last time. If you're just tuning in late, we'll roll out the YouTube channel. Give it a like on the YouTube. iHeartRadio after the fact. Find Midday Money. Look at the lines there. Knicks, Rockets, OKC are the 3 I like the best. I'll lean Mavs in Denver and the other 2. Under Cowboys, over Lions, under Denver. There you go. Midday Money tomorrow. Sure. Why not? And I'm going to call Midday Money. It's going to be just a live. I'll come in when I come in during the Cowboy game. I'll be going on Sports Grid tomorrow with Game Morancy with some in-game stuff there. I'll probably have some, props. I'll look for some touchdown props to throw up here for us tomorrow in these games, and that'll be it. Merry Christmas. Good to see everybody a day early. I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe I'll put a festive hat on like my llama. My daughter's llama hat. She drew the little llamas. Anyway, thanks for popping in, everybody. Hope all is well. Have a nice night. Enjoy your holiday breakfast tomorrow. Merry Christmas. Good night. Bye-bye.